Puri Puri Prisoner, one of the strongest men in the entire Hero Association, and an S-Class who is capable of pulverizing fearsome monsters with his bare hands. And yet, he is also a criminal with a supposed 10,000 year sentence centered around sexual offenses, who spends the majority of his time in prison, only breaking out to either fight dreaded creatures or visit the unfortunate crushes who have caught his eye. But what if I were to tell you that many fans of One Punch Man simply view him as the comedic supporting character he is portrayed as and aren't aware of just how far his crimes actually go? Ladies and gentlemen, this channel is Saitama World, and today we're gonna expose the S-Class hero Puri Puri Prisoner's true scale of sexual terror. But I hear you say, with a roll of your eyes and shake of your head, we already know about Puri Puri Prisoner being a twisted manstalker who looks like Spopovich with a perm. And to that I reply, yes you do, anime watcher, and those who only continued the manga from where season 2 left off. However, those of you who have not read the early manga, or any of the manga at all, will be unaware of just how severe his perverse nature penetrates, figuratively and literally. You see, it's understandable for many fans of the series to only know what they've been shown of Puri Puri Prisoner's sins: sexual harassment, stalking, attempted drugging, and enough indecent exposure to make even an OnlyFans model uncomfortable. However, he goes deeper than that, again, figuratively and literally. So join me as we take the plunge into this dark hole, just figuratively this time, unless we're about to go through chapter 24.5, since somewhat recent coverage of P. Diddy's deviant nature reminded me of Puri Puri Prisoner's wild activities. So if you want the full chapter run through, just let the video play from here, and if you want to get straight to where no Diddy and no Puri can be used the same way, well, I'll timestamp it so you can get right to it. If any of my lines so far have made you smile or laugh, go ahead and drop a like to help the video engagement, and subscribe for One Punch Man centered content. And again, one more time, if you want to get straight to the heart of the video, check the timestamps, but give me a chance with the chapter recap if you have the time. The scene starts with showing us the prison where Speed of Sound Sonic is being transferred to from detention, concluding his defeat against Saitama sometime after the fall of Hammerhead and the Paradises. Security remark about how he's been battering other inmates they put him with, which is no surprise when you're a master ninja assassin, and because of it, he's getting lumped in with other extreme troublemakers inside of a facility known as the Smelly Lid Prison, a name which refers to how you should put a lid on smelly things, that being society's worst offenders in this case. Naturally, it doesn't take long for Sonic to get into it. The welcoming residents try to intimidate and rough up the smaller man, however soon find out that he's not the prey they expected him to be. Dislocating the first prisoner's shoulder with the greatest of ease, even that didn't deter the next one from trying to lay the rules down on Saitama's self-proclaimed rival. However, those of you who know Sonic know that he's very rude, and after demonstrating so, that fountain of knowledge, garbed in prison stripes, decided to relay his message with a knuckle sandwich. Although, while it looked like a well-served meal at first, we soon realized that Sonic moved out of the way with incredible speed and substituted his face with his own ankle's metal ball and chain, which left the inmate's hand more crooked than a panel of boxing judges. Sonic investigates the walls after showcasing his prowess and deduces that the walls are several layers of thick steel, posing a problem for any cell dweller who wants to take an unauthorized day out in the city, including himself. That's when Sonic gets a sadistic teasing from a foul old man. With teeth like a witch doctor's necklace, he explains there's no morality, no salvation, and no hope within this prison, and he's gonna revel in seeing yet another young prisoner crumble under the realization of no escape. And after Sonic calls them all a bunch of weak losers who have to play nice with each other, he states that he's not like them whatsoever, and instead is going to create his own fun, which will be ending all of them. Before Sonic has a chance to turn the prison hall into a game of Dynasty Warriors though, one man steps forward, proclaiming to be a Kempo practitioner and someone who once robbed a bank unarmed, which admittedly is a pretty epic way to commit that particular crime, but Sonic rightly points out that it doesn't mean much if you got caught for it. The fight ended as quickly as it began, with Sonic using his ninjutsu to immobilize his opponent, earning a scream which rang through the entire facility and gained the attention of a certain S-Class hero. Immediately, all the prisoners had a change of vibe and began gearing into their best behavior, with even Sonic noting their new disposition. They explained that their boss ordered them to get along with one another, to which they all seem begrudgingly willing to do, alerting Sonic to the concept that the man in charge must be powerful to make such rough and tumble guys show fear. That's when we're greeted to the sight of Puri Puri Prisoner, already planning a deep kiss for each unwelcoming inmate. And this is where the true scale of Puri Puri Prisoner's deviance is shown. We learn that Puri Puri captured an A-class criminal a year ago and brought him in, turning himself in during the process too. The man he brought was a lively, muscular and confident bruiser, someone full of life, even if for bad intentions. Yet that man was reduced to a shell of his former self, a malnourished husk. Even the man's thick hair was reduced to scarce whiskers. His physical and mental form suffered so much stress that even Reed Destro from My Hero Academia wouldn't have wanted it. So what caused it? As said by Puri Puri himself, it's a crime to violate normal boys. But if it's a criminal boy, it's like I'm punishing him and it's killing two birds with one stone. No one will complain and everything's good. The panel then notes that the last part isn't true. Everyone complains and it's definitely not good, because this shows that to the inmates around him, he's not an S-class hero, he's an S-class tapist. Just replace the T with an R because I don't want to have the video potentially flagged by YouTube's censoring. The inmate then goes on to tell us that Puri Puri has repeated this process numerous times, and most damning of all, that he's used this opportunity to create a harem of sex slaves, a place which even a veteran prisoner would call hell on earth. So again, for the goal of not wanting this video to get obliterated by YouTube, you can tell that Puri Puri Prisoner has partaken in many acts which I will say rhymes with tape. So many times, in fact, his taping antics are being referred to with such reach that even Mr. Fantastic's body would have trouble covering, and thus many anime only fans have now found out that unwanted kisses and playful stalking are not the extent of Puri Puri Prisoner's crimes, and in fact go a lot harder and deeper than one would want to imagine. It then goes on to be stated, when inmates here are behaving well, punishment may just involve a French kiss. Just a French kiss? Take a good look at this man. Would you feel like you were getting off easy when his lips were taking your face hostage? I don't even want to think what the hard way would be like with Puri Puri. He's like a sex offending version of the Punisher, and with how many people throughout these panels look troubled in their expressions when discussing these matters, it's clear to see that these forced engagements, should we say, have stretched more than Luffy could within the steel walls of this smelly lid prison. The 10,000 year sentence he's serving now seems a lot more understandable. How much man violation does someone need to do in order to be sentenced 10,000 years? Anyways, it's around this time that Puri Puri Prisoner sees on the TV in his cell that Stinger is almost out for the count when fighting the sea folk, and so he takes it upon himself to protect one of his adored heroes, leaping out from his cell with no hesitation and proceeding to power through those thick walls. No, not of the inmates, but the prison itself, escaping out into the open so he can go and take part in the battle all us One Punch Man fans remember well, his fight against Deep Sea King. Sonic takes the opportunity to put himself through the hole, the one in the wall, no, not that kind of hole in the wall, the one that leads outside, and thus is also how he finds his way against Deep Sea King later too. And the rest, as they say, is history. So there you have it, a view into the true scale of Puri Puri Prisoner's crimes, someone who also happens to be an S-class hero. For those who never knew, does this change the character for you? Should the Hero Association have accepted him? And does their constant need for powerful allies against city-threatening monsters make it okay? Did you like him before? Do you like him now? Would you ever want him as a cellmate? These are all questions you can answer in the comments, should you want to. Either way, I hope this video gave you information you either didn't know before or simply helped you to remember. Though, to be fair, this is probably something you wouldn't want to remember. With that said, you're welcome. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want more One Punch Man centric content in your life, courtesy of Saitama World. Click on the channel icon for more videos. Catch you next time.